everybody. Welcome back to Combat Insiders. Nick Portella and a surprise visit from our lead journalist / editor, Wayne Carl out of Australia. Wayne, what's up, my brother?
What's up, Nick? Long time no see, mate. Good to see you.
Man,
excited about today?
Yeah, well, today got a pretty awesome guest, especially on the Australian side of MMA. Alex Hitman Gorgees. I feel this dude is the Australian Nate Diaz. That's just how I describe him. 23 years old, lightweight, 7-0, ranked number 9 in Australia. I think maybe the ranking is skewed, maybe, but I don't say because of his fighting. I just say because of the number of fights. I feel he's higher up on the list than that. I also feel he's probably on the cusp of coming to the UFC sooner than later. Fighting at an Australian top team, you know the man. So real quick, Wayne, since you're there, what's your take on his gym and just him in general? I know you've got to spend some time with him and you know the gym and, stuff like that.
Australian top teams run by the Mokhtorian brothers, who are both of them are fighting in Adelaide. So Suman makes his debut, and Ash fights for the third time under the UFC banner. So really excited to see the leaders of ATT get to do their thing inside the UFC octagon. But Alex Gorgees, mate, he's my number one favourite fighter in Australia. I've got a lot of favourites, but there's just something about this guy. He talks the talk, but he walks the walk. So I'm really excited for the Americans to actually see how much charisma, and you know what, he backs up everything he says. And you'll hear him talk about things, and you'll look at it, then you watch him fight, and you'll love this guy. So really enjoy this interview, everyone.
Yeah, it is kind of exciting too, because I know he does interviews, but This is, I think, his first one with a U.S. outlet. So it's kind of a big deal for everybody that's sitting here. So we're going to move over now. We're going to bring Alex into the call via Skype. Okay, everybody, we're back live via Skype from Western Sydney, Australia, with Alex Hitman Gorgees. Alex, how are you, sir?
Good. Thank you very much for having me.
Anytime, man. You know what? When you do the things in the cage that you do, it warrants us chasing you down from the United States. Luckily, I got a guy on the inside, though. In
Definitely.
Mr. Wayne. And Mr. Wayne Carl, he makes things happen. So, man, there's so much we could ask you because there's so much we want to know about you. So just to lead off, what is your inspiration in MMA? Your biggest one?
Definitely my inspiration is definitely my family. My family's been through a lot, and it's kind of led me to where I am, behind these doors at Australian top team. That's definitely my inspiration to the sport, man. Definitely my father, my mum, and my brother. Seeing them work hard and seeing them do what they do every day really makes me be who I want to be, who I am today,
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's touch on your brother, mate. We can give him a plug because I know he's got a fair business in Sydney, mate. So let's give him a plug. I think he's 1-0 as well. He's a fighter as well.
So funny story is actually when I first started fighting, before I started fighting, my brother started way before me, and he trained kickboxing before I did. And man, back in the days, he used to beat the shit out of me. Like, it wasn't even funny. He used to beat the crap out of me. And one day he turned around and he took me in, and he's like, "Oh, maybe you should, do this full time." And I did, and now it's a bit, hey, I've got jiu-jitsu, that's all I can say. You'll know what I'm talking about, but yeah.
Hey, but you're dressed well.
Well, I'm definitely dressed well because of my brother. My brother, after my father's passing last year, my father passed away, and my brother really decided to put his head down then and open up his own business and start his future, man. And definitely, back then he was still training every day and that. And he turned around and said to me, "Look, you start training every day, you achieve your dreams, and you keep pushing for your goals, and I'll do the financial side." So, hey, here I am. I'm still pushing for my dreams, and I'm glad to have the people I have, definitely like my brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to touch on young Alex. Back in the day, let's describe what young Alex was like, because I know you pretty well now, and I can only imagine when you were 15, 16. Just describe how you were.
15, 16-year-old Alex was definitely a little shit. Well, I wouldn't really say little shit. I'd probably say big shit because I was about 115 kilos when I first started. You know, and how many pounds is that, Wayne?
A kilo is 2.2 pounds, probably about 240. 240 pounds.
That's about the weight of my head.
Well, there you go. So I was probably about 240 pounds, man, and now I'm fighting at 155. So little Alex was a big shit, you know, and I got on a lot of people's skins, and but hey, it made me who I am today, and I'm a lot more mature now, I hope, and fuck yeah.
We'll move on to, I know I've asked you where you work and what you do outside MMA, and there's a Creating Chances, I think it's called, mate. So let's have a chat about that because I'm proud of what you do. So let's talk about Creating Chances.
Cool. So Creating Chances is a program that when I first started, like I said, when I was 13, 14 years old, I started at the start of this program when they first established the program. And they funded us to go to New Caledonia. And, man, they done so much stuff for us just to keep us out of trouble and, you know, just keep us off the streets and really keep our head down. And I was mentored by a really good guy called Joe Tal. And he was the one who took me in and introduced me to everyone and, like, really brought me on the path of sport. And ever since then, he took me. He was the first person to ever take me to my first MMA gym. And ever since then, man, I've never looked back. And yeah, that's a bit about Creating Chances. But yeah.
So you work at the place that once kind of saved you in your childhood?
Yeah, definitely. So I work with them now. I started out as one of their students, and now I'm one of their mentors. So it's kind of cool, you know, when we look back and see how I was, like I said, that big shit, you know, getting under a lot of people's skins, and now I'm mentoring kids. You know, I'm going to different schools. I'm speaking to a lot of kids. I'm going to refugee camps. And I'm just trying to help out where I can, man. And I just really want to make a name for myself and put a mark on Australian map. And really want people to know who I am, and not for the bad things, but also for the good things. A lot of people see me in the cage and see me putting my root finger up and see me swearing. Yeah, I do get a little bit emotional, but hey, you know, at the end of the day, we're all human, you know. So hey.
Yeah, but that's, you know what, that's part of the fight game. You need people to want to come see you. You got to make it exciting. So there's a lot of the guy I compare you to does it, and I said it in the intro, and I'll say it again. If Nate Diaz was born in Australia, he would be you. There it is. There it is. It's right there. So I learned a fun fact about you that Wayne brought to my attention, and I'm going to ask. I have no clue what the answer is going to be or why. Did you get kicked out of a ping pong competition?
Actually, I did. When I was about 13 years old, you know what? I got kicked out of every sport I ever played. Any sport I ever played, I got kicked out of for fighting. So whether it was ping pong, it was soccer, it was footy. You know, I got kicked out of every single sport, and it was all because fighting. You know, and as a little kid, that's all I ever done. I always got into a lot of street fights. I always got into a lot of fights, and my mouth always got me into a lot of trouble. And yeah, so ping pong was a definitely tick off a list that when I definitely did get into a fight that day. So,
you're the only guy I know that's ever been ejected from a ping pong tournament, so you get a trophy right there on that for sure.
Everything, huh?
Yeah, very good. All right, I'm going to go over, mate. Hardest opponent you've had. You obviously had some. You had one loss as an amateur, which I didn't realise. I've done some history, but you made up for that in the pros, mate, fairly quickly, and that was one of your early fights. What's been your hardest fight so far?
Definitely, my hardest fight so far was definitely my loss. The only reason why it was my loss is because it was on myself. It was on myself that day to how I show up, how I turn up, and how I turn up with the right mindset. When I turn up with the right mindset, no one in Australia can beat me. No one, I believe no one can beat me when I turn up with the right mindset and when I know what's going on. You know, no one can beat me. But
Now the real question is a win sweeter if it's avenging your only loss? Does it make it that much better?
Definitely, of course, definitely. When I got my rematch and I avenged my win in the first round. After he beat me in the third round, and I finished him in the third round as a pro. You know, and right before that, I had him rocked. I had him slapped. You know, I was slapping him, and you know, so it definitely for me it was pretty good.
Let's talk about that Sydney slap. You know, I'm all about that. That's showmanship to its fullest in my mind. How did this develop?
So when I first started training, I started throwing my hooks a lot open hand. So when I first started training, I wanted to be a kickboxer. So I would never turn into my hooks, or I would never put power into my hooks, and I'd always use a slap. And then I remember one day, Simon and Ashley turned around and they go, "Hey, you really don't turn into your punches." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I just really slap." Go, "You know who really does that?" And I was like, "Who?" They told me the Diaz brothers. So then I went back. When I first started, I started watching the Diaz brothers a lot. Um, I started watching how they punch to the body, how they punch up top. I started watching their style. I started trying to imitate their style a lot. And man, one thing led to another. Before you knew, I started slapping people. And what we do, everyone was calling me Nick and Nate Diaz of Australian MMA. So
I'm telling you, man. And you know what? You couldn't pick better because I mean, whether people like them or hate them, they have world-class boxing, and your boxing looks like it, just like you. So that's really
Nick's
a
the
notch.
biggest Diaz nut hugger in America. Just chucking
No,
it
I'm
out
not.
there.
No, I'm
He's
not.
the biggest nut hugger. Hence the reason he wants to come to Australia and meet Australian Diaz. There you go.
No, I
well,
see. The thing is, I want to meet Australian Diaz because you introduced him, his whole thing, and I went back and watched it. The man's impressive. The fact that he slaps people's a bonus, but his fighting's impressive. Hey, man, I said earlier before you signed on that even though you're ranked number 9, I think it's because of the amount of fights, not the way you fight. I think you're the next one. I think you're going to drop in, like somebody's going to drop off, and you're going to get the call up. Hey, who's that?
That's Ash.
Hi.
Ash fights in Adelaide.
Good.
See you in 3 weeks, Ash.
So I'm digging this Australian stuff. I might move there.
that's it, man. Yeah.
Hey, I want to talk about your last fight, mate, against Raf Scott.
If I show you what's inside this gym, man, you'd go
Let's
crazy.
go.
But yeah, man.
Raf Scott, he talked a lot going into the fight. Did that motivate you emotionally, or you just went in there and used that, to make it even better for yourself? Did you use that emotion to fight harder? Because I was there, obviously, and then I'll ask some questions about what happened in the fight.
Definitely. I did use a lot of that as motivation for my training and as motivation for me to beat them up in front of the home crowd. But I never ever open my mouth about someone unless they open their mouth about me. And when they do, I'll make them eat their words, and I promise they'll regret whatever they said. I'll make them regret it inside the cage. I'll slap them, I'll push them, I'll swear at them, and you never know. I might even fight someone.
Well, I actually went back and watched the fight. There were some moments where you obviously were talking to him during the fight. Like, we're not staying against the cage. Let's stand in the middle and bang. Do you remember anything specifically that you said to him? No, you were just...
Yes, sorry. Yes, I do remember everything I said to him. I first started talking to him in the first round when he let off 3 leg kicks. He let off 3 leg kicks and he was running away. I looked at him straight in the eyes. I go, "What the fuck are you running from? Stand in the middle and bang with me." He kept running. In the second round, he went for a rolling heel hook. In that position, I was fine. I've been there many times with my trainer Suman and Ashkan Mokhtari, heel hook specialists. Both of them. I've been there many times and many places. I trained those things and I knew what I was getting myself into. My knee was out and he was going for my heel. And I said, "Hey, big fuck you. You're not getting my heel. You're not going to rip my long limbs off like you said you would. Fuck you. Take one to the face." Round finished. In the third round, when we came out, in the first 10 seconds, I sprinted towards him. When I sprinted towards him, I went to sprint towards him with a flying knee, but but he flinched. So I said, oh, if I go for a flying knee and he throws a punch, I'm not going to look too good. So I stopped at my tracks and I started throwing my combinations, and then I started. That's when the talking really started. Then in the third round, at the start.
Beautiful. Nick, I'm going to do my rapid fire 5 questions, mate. Are you ready for this, Alex?
Let's go.
All right. Prime Aldo, leg kick from Prime Aldo, or a left hand from McGregor? Pick your poison.
Probably a leg kick because you can recover quicker from it. Left hand you can't recover from.
Nick or Nate Diaz? You got to pick one. I know you love them both, but pick one.
Fuck you. Why would you do that to me?
He does it to me all the time.
All right, Jones or DC?
All right. Wait. I'll pick, and I'll tell you why I'll pick. I'll pick Nick Diaz because if you go back and watch the Diaz brothers, Nick Diaz does a lot more technical stuff than Nate Diaz does. Like when I say more technical stuff, he'll turn into a lot of his punches more. His jiu-jitsu is a lot better, and I think he's more well-rounded than Nate. That's my opinion.
Beautiful. All right, Jones or DC if they fight again for the third time?
I think Jones will beat him even on. I think Jones will beat him high. Honestly.
Yeah.
All right. This will be a hard one. Whittaker or Adesanya?
Whittaker. Whittaker beats him because of his pressure. I see a lot. I see a lot of people with Adesanya right now just striking with him, and when they're trying to take him down, it's only half-assed takedown. When Rob shoots, man, Rob will take you down no matter who you are. You know, you're Romero. No matter who you are, he'll take you down. And that person is athletic, man. So I'll go with Rob.
I don't know if there's a middleweight out there for Whittaker just yet. He's the real deal.
It's too well rounded. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like Adesanya can worm his way a lot of things, but I think if Rob grabs him, he's not going anywhere. Especially at middleweight.
Yeah.
So. And last one from me for the rapid fire 5, mates. And I want an answer on this one. So Chris Cyborg's in front of you. So think Cyborg. You either have to marry her or you have to fight her.
1 second. Say again?
So Chris Cyborg. You either have to marry her or fight her. Which one do you do?
I'll fight her.
Do you reckon you beat her?
Do I reckon I'll beat Chris Cyborg? I want to hope so.
But there's always that. So I do have one other interesting question I noticed. You finish all your fights. All your fights are by finish. This last fight went the distance. But the best I could tell is it went the distance because you wanted to go the distance. You wanted to throw down for 5 rounds. Is that accurate that you wanted to just beat him up for 5 rounds?
Yeah,
3 rounds.
Sorry. Don't get me wrong. Like, the finish was. Oh, where did my camera go? 1 second. Okay. There we go. Yeah. I mean, the finish was there a couple of times. I didn't capitalize on it. But that's just my mistakes, and I just really wanted to put a beating on him, man. I love putting a beating on someone. So hey,
Alex,
what it is.
You had him against the cage. You was just about to look at the referee. You stopped. You walked to the middle of the octagon and said, "You're not getting out of this," and pointed to the middle of the octagon. So the finish was there. You just chose not to take it.
So with that in the second round when I caught him to the middle, I remember right before we walked out, my trainer Ash told me that once you put a beating on him, call him to the middle of the cage and tell him to come in the middle, and that's what I did. And I remember clearly what my trainer said to me right before my fight: call him in the middle, beat him for 3 rounds, like she said. Yeah, so it's my game plan and it's tactical game plan. So hey.
So what's next? What do you think is next for you? I mean, obviously, if you get the call up, UFC, Bellator, you're coming this way. But should your next fight be in Australia, not in the UFC Australia, do you have anybody in mind that you would like, or if they're willing to sign the contract, you're willing to sign the contract?
Yeah, definitely, man. Like I've been going back and forward for about like a couple of months. on not even a couple of months. Sorry, it's been more than a couple of months. It's about 6 months or so. Been going back and forward with Charles Bennett. So yeah, like
Felony Bennett.
Yes, Charles Felony Bennett. If there's a fight to put on that the fans really want to see and something exciting, I'll put on a show, and I know that man will come to put on a show too. So that's definitely a fight I'll look into after this. Or if not, then when the UFC come around, I'll hand out some local Sydney slaps. So hey,
I love it. I love it. How can you not like it? You can't not like
And
it.
one last thing, mate. You put Wombat to sleep. Please, next time you see me, don't do that to me.
no,
Yeah.
you know what? Have you seen the video? Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
seen the video.
So
Yeah.
Wombat kind of asked for it. So if you watch the start, he goes, "Oh, I don't feel like I got put to sleep. Maybe you should put me to sleep."
He said
Sure, will do.
I wasn't choked out properly.
Can you choke me out?
And
Okay.
that's kind of what happened. Yeah, no problem. It was tight. It was tight. I'm surprised I really thought he was I thought we were gonna see the tap. So shout out to Wombat for letting that just go down.
Wombat, you're the man. He is the man, Wombat. Good on him.
Very good, mate.
Well,
Thanks for your time, Alex.
Absolutely. I want to give you a chance. If there's anybody extra you want to thank, any shout outs, the floor is yours, man. Tell people where they can follow you on social media.
Cool. I just want to start off by saying thank you very much to you guys for having me on the show, of course.
Anytime.
Definitely. You Wade and Carl. Sorry. What? Wade and Nick, you guys have been amazing. Thank you very much once again for having me on the show. Suman and Ash, thank you very much. They're going to be fighting in 3 weeks, so I hope everyone tunes in. And UFC Adelaide, they're going to really shock the world. Definitely my sponsors are Supplement Warfare, Fertility Pizzerias, Skytech Electrical, Plato. Man, all these guys, Australian top team, everyone behind me, that's always backed me. Thank you very much. Yeah, keep tuned and Team Hitman, and hopefully we'll come to the UFC soon.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
As for us, definitely follow Alex. If anything, he's entertaining even on social media. Definitely got to check him out, though. Wayne, you can follow him on Twitter at Wayne Carl MMA. As always, for us, as a whole, everything Combat Insiders, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, combatinsidersmedia.com. Alex, first guy I've had on from Australia, definitely was a pleasure. If I ever make it there, I'll eat one Sydney slap. I'm not going to let you put me to sleep, but I'll eat one. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Hey, I just seen Wayne's head go, not me. Thank
I'm
you
not
very
getting
much.
slapped, but nah.
Hey, hey,
I've been hit too many times.
True story, Dick. I knocked someone out once with a slap.
All right, well, don't do that. Because I don't want to be the next video up there sharing it. Like, look at this media guy. That's 2 of them I put away. I can't beat that guy.
Oh, good.
But yeah, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Alex is absolutely up-and-coming prospect. You're going to see him here. It's not a matter of if, it's when. And we're signing out. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right,
Yeah,
Alex, that went good, bro. I'm going to send it over to my guy in the lab. He's going to edit all the shit out like where me and Wayne were talking before. And let's promote the shit out of it, man. I'm telling you, the 155ers over here, they need new blood. They need somebody new. And if you're slapping people, you could have had a losing record. If you're in there slapping people, I'm supporting it.
See you in Adelaide, Alex.
Hey, is he?
Hey, I need to ask you a question. Is Simone actually fighting? Because I've got an article sitting there waiting. I don't want to release it because I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's fighting, but he stuffs me up all the time. And I'm sitting on an article. I haven't released it.
Is it the article I have that I'm holding?
Yes.
You know what? You can ask him yourself.
Are you fighting? Hey. Hey, Simone, how are you?
Not too
I'm
bad,
sitting
how are
on
you?
an article about your fight. Can I release it, or are you going to turn around and say you're trolling me?
Nah, you can release it. It's official now.
Okay.
All right, Wayne. I'll get it up tonight then.
Yeah. I've been sitting on it for a week, man.
Really?
So
You've been sitting on it
I
for longer
wasn't
than
confident in releasing it.
I didn't even know I was fighting a week ago. Everyone else knew before I did. I think Twitter and Instagram found out before I did.
So, guys, when I make my way to Australia, do I get the day pass to come shoot some footage there, get you guys on video?
Yeah, man, whatever you need, just let us know. You can come down. Whatever you need, we got ya.
I'm going to have to make the trip.
Done. December 2nd, Nick Yusuf locked in that cage.
Yeah. Oh, hey, listen, I'll be watching, man. I'm not supposed to cheer for people, but I'll cheer for you. Don't tell anybody. We're the media. We're supposed to stay neutral.
Thank you very much.
You're crazy. I'm going to call some of my connections, see if we can't slide this guy in sooner than later.
Hey, I'm telling you now, don't worry about me. Don't worry about any of these other guys that you've seen on this card. When this man jumps on the card, I can guarantee you the UFC is going to get taken by storm.
Hey, little man, what's up?
We'll interview him.
Yeah. Well, guys, listen, I definitely appreciate the time. Alex, you're welcome back on anytime. When you're done fighting on the Australia card, if you want to come on, you're more than welcome. I'll have Wayne set it up. The hours are kind of funny. It's about midnight here for me, but for you guys, I'll stay awake.
Stop sucking. Mate,
you
were going to wait up till 3 o'clock.
I didn't say that word the whole interview because apparently I don't even know what it means. I just call him that.
Cool, man. Thank you very much for having me on again.
Anytime, brother.
I'm always available for you guys, so.
Yeah, we'll have you on again.
Definitely.
All right, take care, fellas.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
Bye.